Yeah, got a new show for y'all. Got a damn good show. This mom sucks. Yeah, she does. Sucks really bad. If your 7-year-old is non-binary, you totally failed your kid as a parent. Well, the kids get stupid. It's probably a combination of both. What's that saying? The fruit don't fall too far from the tree? You can't, a non-binary, if you got a mama and a daddy, you can't say you're non-binary. That applies to humans, wolves, dogs, cats. If you got a mommy and a daddy, there's no way in hell you non-binary. Unless your mama force-fed you some garbage. Unless you're a virus. Those are non-binary. Bitch is just split in half. Right. But anyway, this woman went to Target. Check out this video.
So I just walked into Target, and the right behind me here, where you see all these lovely swimsuits, that's where the Pride display used to be. And I came in here 2 days ago, and my 7-year-old, who's non-binary, saw it and said, "Look, Mom, it's Pride. Look, they're gonna celebrate me."
But wait a minute, are you about to cry? What 7-year-old kid knows it's Pride Month? What 7-year-old When I was kid? 7, did I give a shit about Black History Month? Who the hell, what kind of kid do you got? You got...
All praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Ha, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to our apostle elders, which rule Great Millstone well, and Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure into the end. Shalom, wa abba babal. Alright, so this video makes a good point of who's pushing that homosexual vibration. And this is why in the scriptures it points out women, alright? It says in Isaiah 3, it says in verse 11, "Woe unto the wicked." Woe means destruction. The wicked is dealing with the Edomites and even the 2/3 that are wicked of our own nation. The Israelites are the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian, which been scattered throughout the world in slavery. The Negroid and indigenous people of North, South America, and the Caribbeans. Alright? It says, "It shall be ill with him." So the wicked, the so-called white man, the wicked that ruled the world, it shall be ill with him, including the wicked of our own people that are following the wicked red devil, the so-called white man. Alright, which the majority of Jake, and when I say Jake, I'm talking about the Israelites, which go back to Jacob. The Israelites, once again, are the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian, the indigenous and Negroid people of North, South, and Central, and the Caribbeans of America. It says, "It shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him." So they're gonna receive what they do. They're gonna receive it. All right, they're gonna get punished for it. "As for my people," so now pointing out the Israelites, "children are their oppressors, the wicked, the so-called white men." They're retarded. They're wise to do evil, but they're wicked in doing good. "And women rule over them." So who sets the standard now? The women. So who's setting up these homosexuals, these children that are non-binary, these confused children of this generation? It's the women. Because you got women ruling over the house. They took the man out of the house and set up the woman and gave her money, gave her benefits, gave her housing, gave her authority. Now she produces monsters. Alright? It says, "And women rule over them, O my people, they which led thee," starting with the devil, the so-called white man, which he set up the woman, alright, over the man. So now the woman is leading the house. Alright? "O my people, they which led thee cause thee to err." And how do they cause you to err? They teach you abominations. Like being effeminate, if you're a man, being a homosexual, being a lesbian, right? Teaching these young girls that they don't need a man, right? Get a job, okay? So these women that are raising these monsters are going to be punished. It says, and destroy the way of thy paths. So they teach these kids nothing good. That's why you got monsters in this generation, which you have single mom homes. Because these women are monsters and they're raising monsters. It says, Yahweh standeth up to plead and standeth to judge the people. So he's going to judge the wicked and the heathen, but even the wicked of our nation, which is in Ezekiel 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. So every generation you had prophets, a remnant, that told the Israelites what was right. But the majority of Israel does evil. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, so this ain't talking about the wicked red man, the so-called white man. This is talking about the wicked of the nation of Israel. Thou shalt surely die, and thou giveth him not warning, nor speaketh to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life. The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will require at thine hand. So we are obligated as the watchmen of Israel in this generation to give warning to our people. And if they take heed and repent, then they'll be saved if it's ordained. But if they don't take heed, they're going to die. But if we don't give them warning, their blood will be on our hands. But if we give them warning and they don't take heed and die, their blood is upon their own head. It says, yet if thou warn the wicked, which that's what we're doing these videos for. That's why we go out to the camps. We're warning our people. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, which is masculine, so it's talking about his, because a man is to rule over the house. But under the wicked today, the so-called white men, they have set up the women. So now they're raising a wicked generation. It says, nor from his wicked way he shall die in his iniquity. So these women that are ruling over their families in a wicked way, they're going to be destroyed in their iniquity. But thou hast delivered thy soul, because we warned him, or her, or they, dealing with the Israelites. Again, when a righteous man doth turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die, because thou hast not given him warning. He shall die in his sin, and his righteousness which he had done shall not be remembered, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man, that the righteous sin not, and he does not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned. Also thou hast delivered thy soul. So the Lord has, ordained us to come and teach the gospel, warning our people, the Israelites, of the return of Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai, which is judgment day. And anyone doing abominations, they're going to be put to death. All right? Right along with the wicked devil, the so-called white man. Now let's go to Ezekiel 9 verse 4. All right? It says, and Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem. So go into the communities of Israel, dealing with the Israelites, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry, for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And that mark is, the original word is tawa, which is a mark making us exempt from judgment, which is a spiritual mark being the desire for Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai and their righteousness. All right? So we're sighing and crying for all the abominations that be done in the midst of Jerusalem. And being a sodomite, all right, is a major abomination in Israel today. All right? And it's because they take after the way of the devil, the so-called white man, which has set up the woman over the man, and now the women are raising the children, and the women are producing monsters. It says in Isaiah 3 verse 8, "For Jerusalem is ruined and Judah is fallen." Judah pertains to the southern kingdom. Jerusalem pertains to the northern kingdom. Negroid and indigenous people of North, South, Central, and the Caribbeans of America. Because their tongue and their doings are against Yahweh, to provoke the eyes of his glory, the show of their countenance doth witness against them. And they declare their sin as Sodom, they hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. So they're going to get evil for doing evil. All right? Let's go to Ezekiel 9 verse 5. It says, "And to the others he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity." So listen to who he says to go slaughter. Slay, which that word slay means to kill utterly. Old and young, both maids and little children, and women. Why? Because these women that have been put in authority by the wicked, the so-called white men, has raised monsters. And this is why the Lord has to kill these young women that don't want a man, don't need a man, don't want to get down with the original program, because the wicked say you could go to college and be a whore. You don't need a man, you could be a man. All right, so they're going to be destroyed utterly. All right? But come not near any man upon whom is the mark. The mark is that spiritual mark, tawah, which makes us exempt from judgment. And begin at my sanctuary. So start with Israel. Then that's why it's Jacob's trouble. And then it's going to go into the captivity of the heathen. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. All right? So the Lord is going to bring forth a great judgment upon the women and children of this generation. Because the women are living abomination lives full of abominations, which abomination means filthy acts. All right? One of them is being a hoe. All right? It tells you in the law that there should be no sodomites nor whores amongst the children of Israel. Now here, Deuteronomy 23 verse 17, that's in the law. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel. And what are the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian women known for? Being whores. It says, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. And what did these whores raise? Sodomites. All right? So this is why there's going to be a great judgment in the land of America on the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian that is not repenting. All right? Because you got the women over the men, because the wicked, the so-called white man, has put it this way. And these women having these homes broken, all right, are creating monsters. They're creating whores, and they're creating sodomites. All right? And the Lord, for a whore and for a sodomite, the judgment is fire. That's why it's no coincidence that America is going to burn like a lake of fire, all right? Because all the shit that's being done in America is witchcraft. Rebellion is witchcraft. Right here. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of Yahweh, he hath also rejected thee from being king. Here on Exodus 22, verse 18, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. All right, so this is why they have to die, because these witches and warlocks that are sodomites and whores, they got to be burned by fire. All right. It says, whosoever lieth with a beast shall surely be put to death. He that sacrificeth unto any god, save unto the Lord Yahweh only, he shall be utterly destroyed. You see? So he shall be utterly destroyed. Anyone that is committing worship, acts of worship to a false god, which the woman being over the man, that's an act of worship to the devil, the so-called white man. All right? These Jake women that, they're all about the money, whose face is on that money? The Jake men that are all about the money, whose face is on that money? The love of money is the root of all evil. All right? And what do they use to sell? Sex. So they sell their wives, they sell their daughters, they sell their sons. All right? You even see this on, the baseball leagues or basketball leagues. You'll have a man that's of certain class in this society, and to keep that class, he'll sacrifice his family. All right? All these people that are doing this is going to die. All right? All right, this is Revelation 21, verse 8. But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable, which being a sodomite or a whore, all right, is an abomination, and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. So that's the judgment for these women that are whores, that are producing these sodomites, as monsters. They're children, all right? And whoever desires for America, because America is a whore, which is a place of witchcraft, all right? Which America is going to be burnt, because it's a big-ass whore. And it's a place of sodomy, a spiritual city of Sodom, and a spiritual city of Egypt, all right? So all that partake in these ways of these heathen, which are abominations, they're going to perish, which the majority today are women. All right, the women outnumber the men by design, because the men are supposed to have multiple women in subjection. All right, and this is also an evidence that the Israelites are not in power.
This is the apartment block where Mohammed Bello housed his women and over 150 children. They're outraged at his arrest and say he's a good husband and father. They strongly believe God ordained their marriages.
A man can have only one wife or two wives. He will get problem. Somebody should think twice that a man with 86 wives, without using anything, is God that brought us to him. Look at me now. Who's a man can put me inside?
All right, so as you just heard that woman, all right, a man that has, which this man has 86 wives and 150 children, it's a sign of power. All right, and that's what these women have. They have power over the man, because the women now have multiple partners. Instead of a man having multiple wives, you have women that have multiple bodies. All right, different sexual partners. All right. That's the sign of the woman being in power. Before, a woman would have been put to death for having multiple sexual partners. But now, in this wicked-ass society, under the wicked red devil, the so-called white man, the women are now able to be with men, be with women, be with animals, be whatever the fuck they want to do. Which it shows that the wicked, woe unto the wicked, for they shall receive the reward of their hands, which is ill. And wicked of our nation that follows after the way of the so-called white man, the red devil, all right, they're going to find death with him because he is death. He leads you to death, all right? Like homosexual activity, that's an abomination which leads to death. That's why most of them get AIDS or different diseases, all right? Those are plagues from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, all right?